Hello and welcome everybody. In this video we'll show you the most important skills for improving your life. Keep watching the whole video and don't skip any of these important parts. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive all our news. 1. Communication skills. The ability to communicate effectively with superiors, colleagues, friends, and staff is essential. No matter what place or industry you work in, workers in the digital age must know how to effectively convey and receive messages in person as well as via phone, email, and social media. To become a good communicator, you must improve your listening. Being a good listener is one of the best ways to be a good communicator. No one likes communicating with someone who cares only about him and does not take the time to listen to the other person. If you are not a good listener, it's going to be hard to comprehend what you are being asked to do. Take the time to practice active listening. Active listening involves paying close attention to what the other person is saying, asking clarifying questions, and rephrasing what the person says to ensure understanding. Also, you need to put attention on your nonverbal communication. Your body language, hand gesture, and tone of voice all color the message you are trying to convey. Eye contact is also important. You want to look the person in the eye to demonstrate that you are focused on them and the conversation. However, be sure to not stare at the person, which can make him or her uncomfortable. Also, pay attention to other people's nonverbal signals while you are talking. Often, nonverbal cues convey how a person is really feeling. For example, if the person is not looking you in the eye, he or she might be uncomfortable or hiding the truth. Also, good verbal communications means saying just enough. Don't talk too much or too little. Try to convey your messages in as few words as possible. Say what you want clearly and directly. Whether you are speaking to someone in person, on the phone, or via email, if you ramble on, your listener will either tune you out or will be unsure of exactly what you want. 2. Empathy. Empathy is the ability to understand and share another person's feelings and emotions. It is essential to building good relationships, both at work and in your personal life. People who don't exhibit empathy are viewed as cold as self-absorbed, and they often lead isolated lives. Sociopaths are famously lacking in empathy. Conversely, someone who is empathetic is perceived as warm and caring. Empathy is the ability to accurately put yourself in someone else's shoes, to understand the other's situations, perception and feeling from their point of view, and to be able to communicate that understanding back to the other person. Empathy is a critical skill for you to have as a leader. It contributes to an accurate understanding of your employees, their perception and concerns. It also enhances your communication skills because you can sense what others want to know and if you are getting it from you or not. Ideally, your employees can learn skills in empathy from you. Therapy, helping them to become more effective leaders, managers, and supervisors themselves. Empathy is sometimes confused with sympathy. Sympathy involves actually being affected by the other person's perception, opinions, and feelings. For example, if an employee is frustrated and sad, the sympathetic leader would experience the same emotions, resulting in the leader many times struggling with the same issues as the employee. Thus, sympathy can actually get in the way of effective leading. Emotional empathy, sometimes called compassion, is more intuitive and involves care and concern for others. Cognitive empathy requires effort and more systematic thinking, so it may lead to more empathetic accuracy. If we see someone is expressing emotion, for a moment, you might feel a reflection of that emotion that can help motivate you to actually figure out what's going on and try to help them. That can help to explain a little bit about how we are wired for empathy. In this case, many empathetic processes are automatic, but they can also be activated in situations when you have an incentive to be deliberately empathetic. For example, when you are trying to read your manager's mood. 3. Problem-solving skills. Problem solving is at the core of human evolution. It is the method we use to understand what is happening in our environment, identify things we want to change, and then figure out the things that need to be done to create the desired outcome. Problem solving is the source of all new inventions, social, and cultural evolution, and the basis for market-based economies. It is the basis for continuous improvement, communication, and learning. 4. Positive self-talk. Self-talk is the act of talking to yourself either aloud or mentally. No matter good or bad, these are the messages that you are telling yourself all day long about yourself. The messages you tell yourself will encourage and motivate you, or they will limit you because they are negative. For example, if you go to work party and make a joke in front of 10 colleagues and no one really laughs, just a few chuckles from those being nice, what do you tell yourself after the party? Do you drive home thinking, I should have just kept my mouth shut, now they think I'm an idiot? Or do you tell yourself, no, big deal, at least I put myself out there and try it? Version 1 of self-talk will make you question yourself at your next social event. You may even hold yourself back from saying too much out of fear of embarrassment or making yourself feel bad. Worse yet, you may develop an aversion to social situations because you feel insecure about your interaction with others. Version 2 of self-talk allows you to give yourself a pass to try again, to just be a human and interact with others. We cannot all be on spot with humor and social interaction 100% of the time, but it is worth the effort to at least try. Self-talk is so important as these are the messages that determine whether you should keep trying or not. The messages you send yourself can either help you succeed or they can hold you back and keep you paralyzed in fear. 5. Consistency. You can argue that consistency is a trait, not a skill, and there are some aspects of it that are. But if you view constantly as always getting your work done before the deadline, volunteering for a new project, attending optional training, or being part of extracurricular activities like charity days, it becomes a skill that you can learn and become good at. It's a lot like developing a good habit. That means you need to be aware of what is going at your firm, watching to see whether a new niche is being developed, the types of training that is being offered, etc. Perhaps the most aspect for you, though, is that this consistency allows you to enhance your technical competence and develop better interpersonal skills. These are the kind of talents that become part of you and part of your resume. Getting your work assignment done on time and to the best of your ability is simply a given. It's a part of your job. There is something to look out for, though you definitely don't want to become the dumping ground for jobs and no one else wants to do, which makes learning how to navigate the skill of knowing how and when to say no quite important. Navigating the more intuitive part of what it means to be consistent is more challenging. Sometimes you have to do the grunt work, especially if you are a low man on the totem pole, and don't forget to pay attention to the details. Be careful, don't overcommit yourself to the point where it affects your consistency and reliability. That means considering your workload, especially during business season, as well as any personal obligation. You need to assess how to balance all of this with the new, more difficult work. You need to be learning to grow professionally, but you also need to understand your strength and weakness so you aren't overwhelmed. The important thing about showing consistency is being consistent. 6. Time management. To manage your time wisely, then you must know your goals. There is definitely a right and wrong way to go about goal setting. If you don't set your goals the right way, then you will most miss something, which will force you to go back and redo things or otherwise veer off track. Second, you will need to have a time check. You should know exactly how you spend your time. In an office setting, you should know the tasks that are stealing your time, then you can do something about it. For example, you may be spending an hour on email instead of completing important projects. Knowing exactly where your time is going can help you make decisions about delegating tasks or buying software to speed up some lower level process. With that, you should to set a time limit. Setting a time limit for a task can be fun. In fact, it can be like a game. Some companies actually divide employees into groups, and the group that finishes a project or a task first gets a reward. You can apply this principle to any task. Set a definite time limit, such as an hour or two, then try to finish the task within the allotted time, and feel the excitement as you do it.
Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to receive all our news.
If you learned something new today, then give the video a like and tell us in comments which step you like it more. And here's some others great videos I think you will enjoy. Just click on the left or on the right.